For decades, the collective anxiety around automation centered on the physical world. The consensus was that robots would inevitably replace assembly line workers and warehouse staff, leaving educated, desk-bound professionals safely out of reach. That assumption collapsed on November 30th, 2022. OpenAI released ChatGPT, a large language model, a type of artificial intelligence trained on massive amounts of text to generate human-like responses, without press conferences or major fanfare. Within 5 days, the platform acquired 1 million users. To put that velocity in perspective, Instagram took 2.5 years to hit the exact same milestone. The technology was writing code, drafting legal summaries, and generating marketing copy, taking direct aim at the highly paid tasks of educated knowledge workers. Artificial intelligence has bypassed the physical labor of the factory floor to strike directly at the cognitive tasks that once defined a secure career path. The vulnerability lies in repetition. Artificial intelligence excels at pattern recognition, which means roles built on predictable sequences of steps, like customer support, data entry, and basic software testing, are rapidly collapsing. This chart shows the performance of artificial intelligence on SweBench, a testing framework that evaluates how well AI models can resolve real-world software engineering issues. In 2023, models could only solve 4.4% of these problems. In a single year, that success rate jumped to 71.7%. Goldman Sachs, a global investment bank, analyzed this accelerating capability and projected that 300 million full-time jobs globally are now directly exposed to generative AI disruption. The data reveals a specific, vulnerable demographic absorbing the brunt of this shock. Employment for young software developers and tech workers between the ages of 20 and 30 has dropped precipitously, with some entry-level roles seeing a 35% reduction in job postings. Executives and senior strategists are using these tools to increase their output, but the positions that used to teach young professionals how to become senior strategists, the junior analyst and assistant programmer roles, are being replaced by software. The first tremors of this displacement started in the United States. Silicon Valley tech firms have eliminated tens of thousands of roles, with many citing AI-driven cost-cutting and automated logistics as the direct cause for the workforce reductions. That disruption quickly rippled to India's information technology sector, an industry employing over 5.4 million professionals who previously handled the repetitive coding and offshore support tasks that algorithms can now execute for fractions of a cent. The market is rewarding companies that transition to automation. Firms that invest in cloud computing and AI innovation are hiring tens of thousands of new staff, while traditional tech giants are freezing their intake of recent college graduates, citing a mismatch in required skills. The human cost of this sudden freeze is severe. A recent study by IIM Ahmedabad, India's premier management institute, found that 68% of the country's white-collar IT professionals are experiencing acute anxiety and identity erosion as they watch their technical skills devalue. For decades, an engineering degree was a guaranteed ticket to the middle class. Today, as automation replaces repetitive coding, the very entry-level roles that sustain that social mobility are disappearing from the market. The World Economic Forum, an organization that tracks global economic trends, projects a complex transition. Their data indicates that while 92 million jobs will be eliminated by 2030, 170 million entirely new roles will emerge. The data identifies which fields are shielded from algorithms. The safest professions require navigating unpredictable physical environments, driving demand for electricians, plumbers, and construction workers to build the infrastructure that powers AI data centers. The second shielded category involves roles rooted in genuine empathy and complex human interaction. Healthcare professionals, mental health counselors, and specialized educators all remain secure because code cannot replicate authentic human connection. If a task demands physical dexterity in a changing real-world environment, deep emotional resonance, or nuanced ethical decision-making, it remains the domain of human workers. When societies transitioned from agrarian farming to factory labor during the Industrial Revolution, the shift spanned decades. Entire generations had the luxury of time to gradually adapt to a new economic reality. Goldman Sachs projects full adoption of these tools within 10 years. While the transition from farms to factories unfolded over generations, the shift to an AI-driven autonomy is moving at the pace of software updates. The only reliable defense mechanism is continuous upskilling. Workers who dedicate time to learning how to prompt, audit, and direct these new models are positioning themselves to manage the algorithms rather than compete against them. Employment is shifting from routine execution to high-level oversight. The jobs of tomorrow exist, but they are increasingly reserved for those who can manage the technology replacing the roles of today.